there, my name is Thomas O'Regan and I'm a professional property investor here in Australia. Now I wanted to talk to you guys today about how the bank really assesses your income. Now this is something that I focus a lot of my time on because it is critical to understand if you want to grow a large property portfolio. Now there is something called a debt to income ratio, right? And the debt to income ratio that most banks lend up to is like a 5 or a 6 debt to income ratio. So for example, if you have if you make $100,000 of income, a debt to income ratio of 5 would mean you would be able to borrow $500,000. Now, how can you actually get this debt to income, or how can you make this debt to income ratio benefit you? Now, if you didn't realize, every time you acquire an investment property, your income as a whole is increasing, okay? So if you acquire a property that is, just for argument's sake, and this is a stupid example, but just for argument's sake, 100, or if you acquire a few properties and the rental income is $100,000, effectively you have doubled your servicing from a debt to income ratio, because your total income was $100,000, but because of all your rental incomes now is also $100,000, now your total income's $200,000, and that means if the debt to income ratio is 5, then you can effectively get $1 million worth of debt now. So how does that all work? So basically, to make the example a bit more simple, it's not realistic, but it's just simplifying it, right? If you had the $100,000 income and you had enough deposits to buy enough properties that would get you $100,000 of income, maybe it might be 4 properties that are making $25,000 each. And for argument's sake, let's say those 4 properties cost $100,000, then your new borrowing capacity, or sorry, you would use up $400,000 of your borrowing capacity. You would have $100,000 of borrowing capacity left. You would have a $400,000 loan, and then your new borrowing capacity would be $1 million, and you would have $600,000 of borrowing capacity left. And that is how, that is what you need to keep in mind if you're trying to understand, or you're factoring in how the banks look at your income when it comes to servicing. And looking at it that way will help you scale to a large property portfolio, because that's what's important. You want to look good in the bank's eyes, and you need to understand how the banks are assessing your incomes, and that will help you to get a larger property portfolio and help you get to financial freedom quicker. See you guys next time. Bye.